JAMB has officially released the statistical analysis of the 2025 UTME examination. So as we can see here now, we can see that most people did very, very well. We have 320 and above, 4,756 people scored 320 and above, and that's about 0.24%. They also have between 300 and 319, 7,658 people did very, very well. They scored above 300. So total people that scored 300 and above is 12,414. So 300 and above is 12,414. And last year, the total people that scored 300 and above was just 8,401. So you can see that it's almost 4,000 plus addition. So that was a very massive increasement. Then from here, you can see that between 250 and 299, we had 73,441. 73,000. So this is a very, very good development. I thought you guys are saying that JAMB was hard this year. What is now going on now? And this results also have evidence that JAMB actually might be using the standardization. I don't know what the person explained it to me, the way they mark the results. Like it is like a curve, something like that. It's not really just dividing by 40 times 100. I think there's a way they mark the results, but we'll get more information on that very soon. So you can see that between 200 and 249, we had how many candidates? We had about 334,560 candidates that scored that. That's about 17%. Then between 160 and 199, we had about let's say this is 983,000. About 50% of people scored between 160 to 199. Then between 140 and 159, this is 488,000. Now take note that last year the university cutoff mark was 140. So if the same thing happens this year again, that means if the same thing happens this year, that means if 140 is the university cutoff mark this year, that means if you score between 140 and 159, that's the minimum cutoff you need to have for you to apply to any university this year. Just take note of that. Now this one is below, between 120 and 139. Between 130 and 129, those are 57,419. So those are the people that scored between 120 and 139. And from last year's record, that means those people are going to apply to polytechnics, college of education, and school of nursing. That's what happened. That's what they choose as the last cutoff mark. And you can see between 100 and 119, 3,820 people. Then below 100 was just 2,031. So below 100, 2,031. But you can see that the total people that wrote the exam was 1.9 million. So 1.9 million. But it's supposed to be 2 point something million. So I think some people were absent. And from here, we can see that you have 71,701 candidates were absent. And now we can see that also 40,247 were underage. 40,247 were underage. But only 467 of those candidates passed 320. Because remember, JAMB sets 320 as the minimum score you have to get as an underage student. So it's only 407 of them that passed that minimum cutoff. And then they said that 97 candidates were involved in examination infractions, while 2,157 are currently undergoing investigations for suspected malpractices. So this means that those people that are suspected of doing malpractice, they have questions to answer to JAMB, right? So this one now is additionally 71,701 candidates were absent. Those facing biometric challenges are also under investigation. And those who are cleared will be scheduled for examination at designated centers. So if you had the biometric issues, about 71,000 of you guys need to be patient. JAMB is going to take a look into that, and then you guys will be rescheduled and then assigned to different centers to write your own examination. So you guys are not going to miss out. Just be patient with JAMB. And as you can see, we have some blind candidates and also some JEOG candidates. I don't know what that means. That are still being processed. So those ones are still having their results processed. So when their one is processed and released, we'll know how far. Now, for the JAMB results, when is it going to be released? So from the below, you can see that a press conference to announce the individual results of candidates and to facilitate result checking will be held later this week. So what does all this mean? This means that this year's JAMB actually had a very high performance compared to other years. Many people scored above 300, which is a good thing. But also remember, university cutoff marks depend on the performance of people. So if many people scored above 300 plus this year, that means to get admission this year will also be very hard. I just pray I'm among those who scored above 300 plus, and I also pray you guys are also among those who scored above 300 plus. For us to score 300 plus will mean that we'll have a higher chance of getting admission this year. But remember, as I said before, you don't need to score 300 plus to get admission. You also need to have information, because remember, some schools also use UTME, some schools also use O-level. So don't be disheartened if you think you will not score above 300 plus, or if you score below 200, you can still get your admission. But for what we can see now, JAMB this year was actually soft. And I'm wondering that why was everybody now complaining that JAMB was so, JAMB was this, JAMB was that. JAMB was actually nice. And from the marking, for the marking of this stuff, now I feel like there is something that JAMB is not telling us about how they mark these their results. I don't think it's the normal way we think. I don't think it's that over your total score divided by 40 times 100. I don't think it's like that. But who cares? Like when we see our results, we know what's up. Right? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos like this.